good afternoon. Thanks for having me. And my name is Michael Kallinger. I'm head of a small unit called Public Management and Governance. And I'll tell you first what we are doing as a department, and then how we have been using wikis, and also how we plan to use them in the years to come. Yes. This is, of course, from the Wikipedia about Austria, and it's the president and the chancellor, and it's right now an interesting time also for knowledge management, because at the end of September we had elections in Austria, and now Mr. Nehammer, the former chancellor, has the mandate to form a new government, and several of the ministries will be reshuffled, and this is a time which is very relevant for knowledge management. Is relevant at this time because it's maybe not the best that you have a project until here and then you stop it completely and start a rather similar project here. So this is a time where knowledge management, handover of projects, and so is important. And okay. So I'm from the federal level, from the Federal Ministry for Arts, Culture, the Civil Service and Sports. And here we have the numbers for all three levels summarized. So we have the federal level, 9 provinces, 9 Länder, Bundesländer as they are called in German, 94 districts, and also the municipalities. And all in all, the demographic structure of the public employees, well, we are quite old, I can say, and until 2036, 44%, so nearly half of the personnel, will retire, and that's the next point, of which public knowledge management is very important, to hand over your knowledge or the relevant part of your knowledge to the new colleagues, which are already pouring in. And this is now a slide about the ministry, and I admit that I saw the presentation for the first time yesterday because I was on holidays, and there is part of the Wikipedia, and we had to correct Wikipedia because the photo was not correct, and also the age of the ministry. So you see how easy it is to do that, even for us. And yeah, okay. Federal Ministry for Arts, Culture, Civil Service and Sport. And there are 5 directorates general, and the director general where I work has the task of ensuring a modern management of the administration. So we care about the civil service law, training, and human resource management. And the department where I work is called Strategic Performance Management, which was already mentioned in the morning, and public sector innovation, and as we call it. And what do we understand by that? So here we have some of our tasks. So we have innovation models of how to innovate and what innovation is, and this would take, for example, a model from the OECD. And then the GAF lab is mentioned. So we have also labs, so little units where we do not have to apply all the regulation which is in place for all of public administration. We care about participation in the digital age, and also for the skills, we call them future skills, for skills which are necessary to innovate and to lead the public service into the future. And under public management, we understand, for example, knowledge management, quality management, and we also have an innovation award. And this is in connection then with the use of wikis. But I start with a more historic overview. So we started using wikis already in 2006. Or, I don't know if it's already, but we started in 2006. And the wiki was used for several tasks, for example, for projects, for process management, and other and other things. And then I come closer to the topic of knowledge management. We started to attack this problem in the year 2010 with the first overview how all the other ministries worked on knowledge management. So there are 13 federal ministries in Austria, and we saw then that the departments were connected to different places in the organization. So some were close to the libraries, some were close to the IT department, some were to personnel development, to HR. So knowledge management, was connected to different organizational units. And yeah, there are ministries, for example, the Ministry of Finance, which has many resources. They were quite advanced already, as well as the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Science. And in the other ministries, it was rather more at the earlier stage, you can say. Also, the Court of Audit was interested in the topic and did 2 audits in 2 ministries. And that's one way to make ministries moving when the Court of Audit analyzes what you do and then gives you advice, then you normally do that. In 2011, a wiki was built around staff regulations, die Resi-Dienstrechtssystem, all legal and organizational information regarding employment regulations. And this wiki was online and used from 2011 until 2018. So the situation was that it had been offered by the IT department, but also it ran over several years. There was no real organizational implementation of this wiki. There were some fans which used it a lot, but not everything was up to date. And then I remember the Director General once noticed that there were 2 different opinions in the wiki, and in a ministry with a strict hierarchy, that was not good for the project. And then in 2018 this project was stopped, but still recently we found out that some people still use this wiki, so it was not taken offline, it's still there, and little part of it is still used, but that should not be the best example. And also in connection with that, in 2012 we developed a knowledge management strategy, a common strategy from the several ministries. We had a short white paper and then a strategy of I think 15 something like 15 pages, and from our ministry we coordinated the implementation of this strategy. And we developed guidelines, we developed a toolbox of knowledge management tools, and we provided seminars, we formed a little community of practice, and we did this, so we implemented step by step this strategy until 2019, we can say. And then in 2020 we made another step. We mandated a website called wissensmanagement.gv.at, so knowledge management gov.at, and it was rather a general tender, so the tender was not aimed at creating a wiki, but creating a website, but the winning bid suggested to develop it as a wiki, and it turned out that this was a good decision from the point of performance of what the website or the wiki contains and can do, but also from an economic point of view. So we have here, I don't know if you can see that, so we have here a lot of content, so the former manual we had online, and of course the tools, but also best practices, or as you call it now, any practices, good practices, best practices from knowledge management project, and also a glossary. This is part of the content, and we have also a via this website we formed a network of experts. They can have an account there and then write into a blog or exchange information. And we centered the navigation about the different actions that are possible there. Of course, you can read, but you can also write if you have an account and network. And as it is in the nature of a wiki, as I see it as a user, the different content elements are interlinked. So, of course, the blog, every blog entry has been written by an expert who belongs to an organization, and also the practice examples belong to an organization, and maybe they use a tool, and then somebody writes a blog entry about that practice example. And so we have this on the abstract level, but also you can visualize this and navigate it via a network graph. And this network graph, which has been created by Bernhard and his company, has then been an extension, a new extension to the Semantic MediaWiki. Is this correct, what I say? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it has been developed by professional wiki, but for us, yes.
Ah, okay. And also for another task of ours, the Innovation Award or Verwaltungspreis, the Quality Award of Austrian Public Administration, we have a website based on a wiki, and here we have also information, of course, but also a database with now around 800 innovative projects from the public sector in Austria, from all levels of government. So this this sounds rather normal, but it's not standard in every country that all levels of government work together well in most cases. Okay, and I said that we do not stay where we are with our knowledge management project, nor with the website. We have this year in summer started a new project which we call Knowledge Management 3.0, Business Management 3.0, and we will adapt the strategy and also, of course, the trainings manual, and we also want to add an AI application to the website, and in the as the plan is now, an AI application exclusively for knowledge management. So you can ask this AI which is the best tool to use for my knowledge management project, which I am about to start right now. I see you can see the other work packages of the project. Yes. Okay, that was it. Thank you. And I'm open for questions.
Questions or comments?
If not, then I have to pose a question to myself, or you have a question?
Some more.
Thanks a lot for the overview. So why did you choose the question, what is the best tool for knowledge management as an AI example?
So we have built quite a good base of knowledge about knowledge management, and it's a website where you can look for things in the traditional way, and then I think rather logical step is to hand this over to a small AI, and I can tell you that on a rather was it trial and error, or we have even started to do this, and then we will have a tender and have it in a more professional way.
I have a question towards that. You said that from a content point of view and also from an economic point of view, it was a good decision. Could you explain that?
Yes, well, Wiki is a freeware from the software point of view, and also as it's a freeware, there are many companies which master that software, that technology, and so you do not have to rely on a very big company or consultant company, for example. And it's easy to upgrade every year or so. That's also from the economical point of view a good solution, I think.
Sometimes there's the argument that you have individual configurations and individual development is more expensive than paying for licenses. That's an argument that is sometimes thrown at MediaWiki. But
Yeah, maybe I can add here. Around the time when we launched this website, knowledgemanagement.at, from a very different aspect, there were news about government agencies spending hundreds of thousands of euros for a website, and it was bad press. And I thought actually we should go into the media, or I forgot to add some zeros in my offer, because the website was really not hundreds of thousands of euros. So, but this is where you see how powerful MediaWiki is, because there's so much in there already that it's the most we actually spent was maybe for the design, right? But feature-wise, almost everything was there except for this extension network that Professional Wiki did for us for a very cheap price also back then. Yeah, it was a while ago, and you can still use it. It's still updated. It's still maintained. So this is the benefit of open source, I guess. Yeah.
And with the zero at the end, this is not only a joke. That's real. When we make a tender, we get prices from 10,000 euros to 100,000 euros for the same thing. So that's okay. With this, thank you again.